Deutschland, Deutschland, über alles. Especially when it comes to gorging on their citizens' cash. Those greedy politicians, they never have enough. They need more. You know, it's kind of interesting because that's kind of how humanity used to be. Like you would be a peasant on a farm, and the noble would gorge himself on your wealth. You know, like sacks of grain. Like they would keep taking into their castle. And it was never enough. Like they wanted more, and then the church came. And the church wanted your grain as well. Everyone wanted your stuff. And then people had a little bit of rebellion, right? During the Renaissance, the Age of Enlightenment. And we had democracies. And so the taxation became a lot less excessive. The laws became more lax. Until World War I and World War II came. And then the government started taxing the people for social programs. And when people started paying into that, the government realized that instead of representing the people, it's a lot easier to exploit the people. So now everything gets taxed. You know, and the idea is like, how are they different than the medieval folks? Were they different because they actually give you something back, right? One of the things they give you back is the pension. Perfect. You know, you got pension. But now it seems that, do we really have to give pension when people are 65? Why can't we give it when they're 73? Because there's no more money. You know, there's no more money. By the way, this is also the justification for migration, right? Like, if you're unaware, the reason you have so many migrants in Europe and the reason housing prices explode and all the infrastructure gets strained is specifically to make sure that there is money for the pension. Fascinating, isn't it, right? And all of these laws that come in, you know, like the hate speech laws, are due to the migration. Like, without the migrants, there wouldn't be need for hate speech laws. There wouldn't be need to crack down on people and activists, would there? No, seriously, like, the concept of hate speech law, like, just didn't exist in places like France during the Cold War, right? And now you have this. Okay, the state police. Like, you now have, like, people getting arrested for having speeches, journalists being cracked down upon. How does the government have money for this? Like, it's kind of expensive to have, like, a police force that constantly monitors the online, and to have money to hire AI and moderators. Like, well, where do they have money for this? Well, from the taxes, right? And so, apparently, it's not enough. It's not enough. And so they decided that people should work until the age of 73. What I find fascinating is that this exact same mindset was echoed by Ben Shapiro just a couple of months earlier. Like, I even made a video about it. And you have Ben Shapiro just coming out of nowhere and saying he doesn't know a single person that retired at the age of 65 and didn't die 3 years later. Like, first of all, my opinion, it's like, okay, so if you die at 68 years old, what's wrong with that? Like, after a certain age, the quality of life drops dramatically. You know, you still live, sure, but, like, you probably have hearing problem, eyesight problems, everything hurts. You probably have, like, 4 or 5 chronic diseases. Like, at some point, you know, you need to understand that maybe it's time to kick the bucket. Like, no one lives forever, right? Like, I say if you die at the age of 68, not a bad death. But hey, you know, Ben Shapiro is like, no, you need to live forever and you need to work forever, right? Like, he was saying, no, people need to work until the day they die. But here's the other question. Who the fuck wants to hire a 72-year-old? No, seriously, not even 72. Who wants to hire a person that's 68? I don't. And you probably don't either. If you had a business, right, and you needed to keep like 30 or 40 people employed, chances are you wouldn't want to hire a 68-year-old. I'm just saying, you know, like, it's time to face the truth. If you have to choose between a 20-year-old and a 68-year-old, why would you choose the 68-year-old? And how is it fair for the 20-year-old anyway? You know, like, shouldn't the dinosaurs just make room for the new generation at some point, right? Like, if you're 68, just fucking retire. That's common sense. Make room for the new generation. But no, right? Like, the way the current system is working is, first of all, education from cradle to grave. University has become the new high school. Everyone has to get through university. It's not a prestigious thing anymore. Literally everyone has to do it. And so most of your life is stuck, not producing and being a burden on your parents. And then when you finally manage to get a job, at some point, people will stop hiding you. Like, let's be honest, like the ageism is a thing, but it's not irrational. It happens because a person that's old doesn't have the exact same energy and spunk as the new person. And the new person also wants less cash than the old one. And so yes, like on average, realistically speaking, even if no one is going to admit it, most companies will not hire someone over the age of 50. Unless they're extremely lucky, right? And so the government doesn't give a shit. What do you do with those people? Like if someone is 65 and no one wants to employ them, and you're not giving them pension either, despite the fact that for their entire life they did pay for a pension, and now you're saying, okay, well, you're going to have to reach the age of 73. Such a weird fucking number as well, right? Like, why not 70? No, 73. Okay, fine, 73. Is everyone else going to have to pay less taxes though? Like, can people opt out now? Like, maybe I don't think I'm going to live until 73. Maybe I'm going to say, you know what? I'll take my chances. There's no way that I'm going to make it to 73. And so, I'll take my chances. I don't want to pay for a pension. Can I do that? No. Taxes aren't going to go down. But your benefits for those taxes are going to go away. Man, I'm like curious, like, how much are people going to suffer? Because apparently, like, if you want an alternative for Deutschland, it's almost like you're a terrorist, right? So, like, there is no alternative. Like, this is the path. And so, like, it begs the question, how was it different in medieval time when you had the monarchy? Like, at least there was no pretense of democracy. Like, no one pretended that the peasants have a say in it. It was a little bit more honest, I would say. Should go back to that, I mean, it is going to be called neo-feudalism, the new way of running things, right? Like, they want a great reset. Well, I guess you reset it to factory settings, which is the peasantry, right? Being ruled by the nobles. Yeah, no, it's mind-blowing. And I actually had a conversation with someone from my family, like, spurging out because I'm not opening a bank account for a pension. And it's like, no, that's no. Like, already in Romania, they've passed a law messing with that. And so the system is not that old. I think, like, the system is less than 3 decades. So, like, if in 3 decades they already passed one law, by the time I'm 65, maybe they're going to pass 2 or 3 more. So no, no. You got to make your own savings. That's the only way. You got to make their own savings and make sure they're not in a bank. You need to buy land. You need to buy property. You need to invest in something if you want to be relaxed when you're old. And you need to have kids. That's literally the only way. Like, don't trust the government. Don't rely on the government, because you may end up being old. And then all the money that you invested seems to be for nothing or just gone. That's my take, though. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.